Good morning, Wabash. Speaking today at Pioneer Chapel will be Javon Garry, Hayden Lewter, Maximus Rosa, and Quinn Sholar with their talk titled Brotherhood Unproven. Javon Garry is a junior majoring in economics with a minor in business from Eustis, Florida. He serves as the treasurer for the Malcolm X Institute of Black Studies. He is also a running back on the Wabash football team and a proud member of the Wabash Christian Men. When he's not playing football or serving as the treasurer, he's most likely looking at the charts as he's interested in the stock market. Hayden Lewter is a senior psychology major with a minor in Black Studies from Hammond, Indiana. During his time at Wabash, Hayden is finishing his second term as the Secretary Ramshorn for the MXIBS and serves as the lead peer health educator with Wabash Wellness. He is also a brother of Delta Tau Delta, but lives in the Butler B house. After graduation, Hayden plans to continue his work with the Light Foundation, a nonprofit founded by former NFL player Matt Light, dedicated to developing responsible, ethical, accountable leaders with youth across the country. He also intends to continue his academic journey by pursuing a master's degree in counseling psychology at Butler University as a step towards earning his PhD. Maximus Rosa is a senior rhetoric major with a minor in literature from Queens, New York. He serves as the vice chairman of the Malcolm X Institute of Black Studies, is a proud hermano of La Alianza Unidos por Sangre, and is the Black Leadership Summit coordinator for Future Black Leaders, Inc. Aside from institutional roles, Max is a thrower for the MOWNBU track and field team. Outside of his leadership in athletics, he enjoys cooking, listening to music, and spending time with the big coat folk at the Butler B house. Quinn Sholar is a senior majoring in art with a minor in economics from Indianapolis, Indiana. He is a proud brother and a two-time chairman of the Malcolm X Institute of Black Studies, a representative of SAC, member of the Sphinx Club, and resident of the Butler B household. Outside of leadership positions, he serves as a captain of the football team and track and field team. His post-graduation plans include working for the Mind Trust through the Orr Fellowship. Let's give a warm welcome to Javon, Hayden, Maximus, and Quinn.
Good morning, Wabash. Those that know me know that I don't necessarily jump up at the opportunity to speak up in front of people. So today's a testament to, what this place is about. And if you keep showing up, you'll break outside of that comfort zone. Or in some cases, you'll be forced to break outside that comfort zone. So I want to give all the thanks to God for giving me the courage to stand up in front of you all. Without him, I probably wouldn't be standing up here. I want to thank my mom, my family, at least my friends from back home. It's tough being far, but their love makes it a little bit better. And then I want to thank my MXI brothers for allowing me to serve as treasurer. Trusting me with the monies. They call me JG Wentworth sometimes. So today I want to briefly talk about choices. A word that is very simple, but like anything else, powerful based on how you perceive it. So today we're going to do a little bit of perceiving. Throughout this past summer, it was made clear to me in a book that everything originates from a thought. Every innovation came from a thought, you name it. Cell phones, appliances, cars, unfortunately, yik-yak. For all those advancements to come to life, someone had to make a choice for it to do so. I'm an econ guy, I like numbers, so I'll share a couple with you all. According to Psychology Today, the average person makes 35,000 choices in one day. Assuming we sleep for 7 hours, which is pretty hard when you're waking up at 5 in the morning, that breaks down to 2,000 an hour and one every 2 seconds. So my question to you is, what are you doing with your choices? Choices matter. Whether you agree or you don't, I'm a firm believer that the choices you make now have a large impact on the people around you and the future you. A common theme that's currently emphasized among the football team is that we're winning games right now. Every choice we make in the weight room or in the field house when we're doing speed work will have an impact on the result of our next season. Yes, the outcome of those games is largely dependent on how we play on Saturday, but it's also affected by the workouts, the culture building, all that. And this can be applied to anyone's life. If you have a goal for the next year, the next 5, the next 10, what you're doing right now is a good indicator on whether that goal gets met or not. So what does this topic of choices relate to brotherhood? I'm glad you asked. This is coming from a place of love, I promise. I don't know a good majority of y'all, but I want everybody in here to win. That's just how I am. But let me make this clear. Despite the shiny emails and the Wabash Always Fights chants, not everybody feels the brotherhood that's advertised. Not everybody feels the brotherhood that's advertised. See, coming here from Florida is a very interesting experience because that place is a melting pot where differences really don't matter. Yet here, they're magnified. Here, unfortunately, I gradually became conscious of my blackness, no matter how many times I tried to shake it. It's a weird feeling, it still is. And since I've been on campus, the differences are only magnified when incidents happen on campus or in America. And it causes people to truly reveal who they really are. And it made me wonder, it made me question if the people smiling in my face, calling me their brother, calling me their teammate, were actually with me. Like I said, choices matter. And to me, they made their choice. Today, I ask that you don't see this as an attack, see it as an opportunity to make choices that benefit the brotherhood of this campus. See this as an opportunity to help this place feel welcoming to all. Hopefully, I've set the stage for the rest of my brother's messages, but as you're listening to them, think about the question I asked. What are you doing with your choices? Thank you.
Good morning, Wabash. Good morning. So really quick, I just want to thank the Sphinx Club for allowing us to have this platform here today to speak with you all. I also want to thank my brothers at the MXIBS for really entrusting me to be a Rams horn the last couple of years and really putting up with me. I want to give thanks to Delta Delta for all of the journeys I've had with them and will continue to have as we look towards graduation. Lastly, I want to thank my family and girlfriend for continuously dealing with me and always being there for when I need them, especially my grandma and dad who I did not know they were coming today. Now, brothers, because that is what we call each other here at Wabash, I stand before you today not to flatter the college we love, but more so to challenge it, because true love demands truth, and truth demands courage. Wabash teaches us to think critically, act responsibly, lead effectively, and live humanely. But I ask you, what good are those words if we don't have the courage to apply them to ourselves? We speak of the gentleman's rule as our moral compass, to act as gentlemen and responsible citizens at all times. Yet how responsible are we if we refuse to confront our own ignorance? How gentlemanly are we if we choose comfort over compassion? Let's call it what it is. Racism, prejudice, and indifference still exist, even here within the red bricks and proud traditions of this college. They may not always show themselves in open hatred, but they breathe quietly within our assumptions, our jokes, our silences, and our unwillingness to reach across differences. Ignorance is not a lack of knowledge, it's a lack of effort. And in a place that prides itself on critical thinking, there is really no excuse for that. You can't call yourself a man who thinks critically if you never question your own worldview. You can't call yourself a Wabash man if your understanding of brotherhood stops at people who look like you, think like you, or make you feel comfortable. I'll be honest with you, the quote-unquote brotherhood that was promoted to me to be the driving factor of Wabash has hardly shown its face. Seen glimpses, but some may even say that it's been unproven. When I became a proud brother of the MXIBS, I saw something real. I saw brothers who didn't just talk about unity, guys that lived it. I saw men who cared to listen, to learn, to challenge, and to grow together. That was the spirit that I was promised, the Wabash spirit that it claims to stand for. That was what Wabash Always Fights really means. Not fighting each other, but fighting for one another. But what about outside the organization? Too often I see this different kind of silence, a silence that keeps us safe from discomfort, but often distant from the truth. We say Wabash always fights, but what are we really fighting for? Are we fighting for understanding or just a tradition? Are we fighting for brotherhood or just the image of it? We can't keep pretending that diversity is just a number on a brochure or a line in a mission statement. Diversity without dialogue is just decoration. Brotherhood without empathy is really just performance. Wabash, at least our Wabash, must be brave enough to look in the mirror. We must really be humble enough to say, I don't know everything, can you please teach me? That's not weakness, that's real strength. Because a mind that refuses to learn is a mind unworthy of this institution. Socrates said, to know thyself is the beginning of wisdom. I really say to know thy brother is to understand his story, his struggle, his soul. That is the true beginning of brotherhood. Until we live the truth, we are not yet who we claim to be. So I want to challenge you. I want to challenge Wabash. Look beyond your comfort. Listen without preparing some kind of defense. To confront your ignorance before it becomes someone else's pain. The greatness of Wabash should not be measured by our own traditions or our trophies. It should be measured by how deeply we practice humanity. It should be measured by whether we can build a community where every man, no matter his race, background, or story, feels seen, valued, and defended. Because in the end, brotherhood is not something we inherit by enrolling here. It's something we earn through the actions here. So let's go out and earn it. Let's go out and prove it. Let's make Wabash not only a college that fights, but a college that understands. Dream big. Thank you.
Good morning, Wabash.
Good morning,
I would like to first thank the Sphinx Club for the honor of speaking on this tremendous platform. I would like to also thank my parents back home in New York City for everything that they've done for me and my two brothers, for propelling us to opportunities that they weren't afforded growing up. I would like to thank my MXIBS family for being the community that I can only dream of. The memories leading up to this moment that I share with all of you are some that I would cherish my whole life, and I wouldn't want to finish off my undergraduate career with any other group of people. I need you all to peel back the veil. The veil, as W.B. Du Bois asserts, is the invisible line that separates blacks and whites. It defines how they are treated within society amongst one another. Education on said veil can help African Americans have a better insight on what needs fixing within the cultural, social, political, and economic standpoint. Well, I hope as I start uncovering the veil of Wabash College, we can all come together as a collective. But today, I'm not feeling as though I need to hold back any punches. Seeing as though everyone here is all big and grown, if you got a problem with what I say today, you can go cry in the car about it. So, as a wise man once said, during the few months we have left, we want to just have an off-the-cuff chat between you and me and us. We want to talk right down to earth in a language that everybody here can easily understand. I figured if I, said that in the President of the United States voice, some of y'all would actually listen for once. So let's make it understood. Wabash doesn't respond to racial problems up front, quite frankly. We do the opposite of the Wabash Always Fight slogan that we market so well. It's more like Wabash picks and chooses battles not to mention distastefully giving a head coach a promotion after racially profiling players for years. Oh, there's more, trust me, believe. Giving professors tenure after saying the hard ER in the classroom. Or assuming all our Latino and Hispanic brothers are all from Texas. I haven't seen any statements about this about these events publicly coming from our higher-ups at the college, just brushed under the rug or even outright censored, but due to goodwill and strength of community, along with a strong alumni base, these stories of continued ignorance have came to light. Although these may be case to case from the lens of someone that would rather keep the corrupted history of our college in their filthy closet, let it be known that the chickens will be coming home to roost any day now. Being even more evident as I learned from the MXIBS's first installment of Tuesdays with the Toot that the largest portrait on our campus of Charles B. White in Center Hall, as told from one side of the veil as the second president of Wabash College, from the other side it can be seen as a man who was a benefactor from slavery on and off of his profession. While White fell ill during his college years, he had spent over a year at his cousin Ellingham White's plantation, bearing witness to these atrocities for a year and being a bystander, not being a bystander, but being complacent or compliant with one of Earth's greatest travesties. Even later, when the college fell into major debt, White harped on that same cousin who was married into one of the biggest plantation families in the U.S. to get the college out of debt. White had suddenly passed away before being fully able to peel back the veil. Alas, this isn't a story of me wishing harm onto anyone in this institution, but that everyone deserves grace because there's always a path towards progress. That progress being imbued in the education of the veil Du Bois was leaning into from both sides of it. Through more educational initiatives throughout Division 1, 2, and 3 through the Black diaspora, through further celebration of Black excellence beyond the confines of a month, because Black history isn't confined to a month. Black history is American history. And it's not for you to fill out your status quo. But please, be my guest. As a matter of fact, stand in my shoes. So, I'm coming down here right now because, I don't think words really come across strongly when it comes to race at Wabash College. It kind of just goes in the wind. So, this shoe represents the side of the veil that gets the benefit of the doubt. And this shoe represents the side of the veil that's worked twice as hard to just be acknowledged for the benefit of the doubt. Different colors, same shoe, same Wabash. Same chapel, not the same walk. So, imagine if your history was constantly pigeonholed to a month, as if that was all you deserved for the continued erasure, the continued silence, and the continued comfort built upon your discomfort. So I'm not asking Wabash to be perfect. I'm asking Wabash to be honest, to stop having black stories only when they're convenient, digestible, and scheduled. Peel back the veil in the classroom, the chapel, the boardroom, and in the conversations you dodge when it gets too real. If Wabash Always Fights is more than a slogan, then fight for the truth. Fight for the students you recruit but don't always protect. Fight for the community you praise but don't always listen to. Peel it back, look at it, and then do something about it. Thank you.
Got chills a little bit, not gonna lie. Good morning, Wabash. Good morning, brothers. First, I would like to give glory and praise to the Most High. Without him, there is no us. Thank you to my brothers of the Malcolm X Institute of Black Studies for instilling their confidence in my leadership to propel the institution forward. I want to extend a thank you to my family, loved ones, and the Wabash community for shaping me into the man I am, into the man I am continuing to become. Thank you to the Sphinx Club for providing this platform for my brothers and I. Allow me to start this speech the way most end theirs at the podium, with our motto, Wabash Always Fights. You don't choose to fight when the going gets tough. You decide to fight. Now you may think to yourself, what's the difference between the two? Allow me to elaborate. A choice is the act of selecting or making a decision when faced with two or more possibilities, while a decision is a conclusion or resolution reached after the act of consideration. Essentially, a choice emphasizes the options available, given the freedom to select, whereas a decision is a process-oriented commitment to a particular option after careful evaluation. Choices can be made quickly, but decisions require more thought and deliberation. Now that we know the difference between the two, I challenge you to decide if you want to celebrate Black History Month. I'll address the elephant in the room. Max kind of beat me to it already, but Black history is American history. Through involuntary contributions and subhuman experiences, Black Americans have shaped this nation's identity and development. Upon this month, we are celebrating 100 years of Black History Month. That's a milestone, fellas. In 1926, Carter G. Woodson founded Negro History Week, originally chosen to coincide with the birthdays of Abraham Lincoln, February 12th, and Frederick Douglass, February 14th. Later, it was made the full month of February in 1976. This is programmed and conditioned us to relegate Black history from a thought to a week to a month. Rather than being inspirational, at times it can feel limiting and constraining. When most encounter the goals of the month, they're reminded about how we overcame Jim Crow laws, being hosed down and attacked during peaceful protesting, and the activism of the civil rights movement. There is this constant repainting of these horrible images so you don't forget. How about we start remembering the successes of Black excellence, Black nationalism, Black Wall Street? Oh wait, they burned that one down. The erasure of Black history has been prominent recently. Slave exhibits have been taken down from the president's house in Philadelphia. Books by Black authors have been banned in schools for being anti-American. Well, guess what? That's my history. Imagine your history being so bad that you want to ban people from learning it. United States of amnesia? Forget and move on? Everyone wants to be educated about Black history, Black culture, but ignores the events we hold on campus, or even simply come to the building we orchestrate in. But then everybody wanted to get invited to the cookout? Everybody wants some good soul food, huh? That's mama cooking. That's mama cooking. The state of ignorance stems from an individual's conscious effort to ignore, which leads to the lack of knowledge, furthering that person as ignorant. Pastor Wilson of Second Baptist Church this past Sunday told the congregation, ignorance is not being uneducated, it is the part of ignoring. I at least hope you're not ignoring what's happening in our country today, because we all have the responsibility of voting in 2024. How could I ignore the defining moment of my Wabash career? The Mo-9 bell. Yes, I'm going there. The bell has been the heartbreak of Wabash for some time now, but Brotherhood remains the heartbeat of this campus. Let me know if this sounds like our Brotherhood is worthy of owning a Mo-9 bell. Plucking LGBTQ flags off the mall, spray painting the F slurs in basements right before recruits come to campus, writing the N-words on stalls and armoires, and even saying it behind closed doors. That's respect. These actions let groups across campus know that they don't belong here. Gentlemen, I hate to say it, but we don't deserve the bell. Till we can get our act together on campus, the visiting artist, Professor Akarash, told me, if there's a problem, then there's a solution. If there's no problem, then no need to find a solution. A foundational moral principle for me is the golden rule. Treat others the way you want to be treated. You don't decide to ignore your brothers if he's struggling. So why ignore brothers that have been struggling for years, generations, on generations, on generations, on generations, on generations of built-up trauma stemming from slavery? Not having access to the same resources, the same opportunities our whole lives as our counterparts. When you're accustomed to privilege, equity feels like oppression. Gratefully, now we all sit on the same level playing field as men of Wabash College. Underclassmen, I speak to you on today to put a stop to this unproven brotherhood we preach to recruits but don't live as a community. Being a brother means showing up when it matters, holding each other accountable, choosing honesty over comfort, respecting every man's dignity, competing with each other, not against each other, speaking up when something's wrong, listening when you don't agree, admitting when you're wrong, helping without being asked, asking for help, treating differences as strengths, leaving places better than you found them, making spaces for others to succeed. Remembering that brotherhood is a verb that needs action, and understanding that no one stands alone. So what decision will you make? What decision will you make to take the first step in becoming a better brother? The choice is in your hands, and you have the power to make the decision. Hopefully no one's offended by this chapel talk that my brothers and I have given on today. I don't want it to be a highlight reel, you know what I'm saying? And also, thank you for stating, I've been okay. Black Lives Matter. God bless.
A few final announcements. On Friday, track and field will have a meet at Illinois Wesleyan. On Saturday, volleyball will have away games against Dominican and Concordia, Chicago. Saturday is also Wabash College Family Day with a home basketball game against Worcester. Thank you all for attending. Now, would you please rise and join me in singing Old Wabash? Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. From the hills of Maine to the western plain, or where the cotton is blowing, gloomy shade of the northern pine to the light of the southern seas, there's a name out dear.